And what I'm going to talk about today is something that I've been noticing coming up a lot lately, and that is, especially with title holders, navigating those divisive opinions, whether they're in person or online. And I just want to go over some of the strategies that I employ to help keep me mentally sane and also set boundaries for those who may try, I would say, to disrupt your peace. And that's the best way I can put it. One of the biggest things that you want to keep in mind is that setting boundaries is extremely important. Whether it's online or if somebody's coming to you in person. If they're coming to you, they say they want to talk about something, okay. But we're going to make sure this conversation maintains respect, and I'm willing to listen to you, you listen to me, and then we can move on from there. And if it's online, especially on my page, I can't tell you what to do on your page. Right. However, on mine, you're going to be respectful of the people that are on here. We'll respect your opinion, and you can have an opinion, but we're not going to attack anybody. We're not going to attack people for their opinions, and we're going to keep this peaceful and productive. If it's not productive, then you got one or two options. You can be silent, or I will remove you. That's one of the two things. I don't, those are the things that I notice. When people come to you, one of the things you have to understand is what's the motivation behind this conversation? Or what is the motivation behind them putting a post on your page? Is this something that is set to be divisive? Is there something, or is it really a concerning issue or because sometimes people bring stuff to your attention that you just didn't know. Now, one of the things, another strategy is do not go back and forth. If it's something that, okay, if I've done something concerning you personally, let's take this offline, give me a call, let me give you a call, or let's do this personally, because this is not for the world to see. Why are we bringing the whole world into something that you had a concern about, and then we could talk that out together. But what I will not do is go back and forth on social media. What I will not do is be disrespectful. I will set a boundary. Hey, recently there was something online, I thought it was directed towards me. And I said, oh, if this is directed towards me, I think we are close enough friends that you can pick up a phone and we can have a conversation. We picked up the phone and had that conversation, and that post went away. You know what I mean? Yeah. There have been other times where I had to dig deep into the motivation of the person. I don't know if you ever saw it, but last Christmas, I was playing around with TikTok and stuff, and there was this cute little thing, if you take your picture, and it says Merry Christmas, and it did a little animated thing, and I was like, oh, okay, this looks cute. And I posted wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. Well, somebody had a problem with it. Yeah. They went into this whole tirade about AI. Now, I can understand if I was creating a marketing tool for somebody, or if I was taking a job from someone else, but it was a fun little thing that I was sharing, that I found that I thought was humorous, that I wanted to share with my community. And what was put on my page was some long rant, and then I had to look at the person who put it there. What is the purpose of this? Now, this person doesn't particularly care for me very much because of the fact I had to judge them twice, and they didn't perform how they should, and they didn't win. So my response was, thank you, and happy holidays to you. That was my response to their rant and post. They went on to say, yeah, I'm gonna call out a title. Obviously, You have an agenda. This was not just an opinion. You had an agenda because you wanted to make the world to see, oh, I'm calling out a title holder and it's IML. Oh yeah, you were removed because you didn't follow my guidelines. And then they went on their page that was sent to me because I'm not going to be looking for stuff like that. A big old post, oh yeah, talking about how I removed them and he called me out and this, that, and the other. And okay. And I did not respond back to it. I let it be. And it never came up again. I got criticism on my page, which I gave person respect of their opinion when we went from, I made a decision to move. I was the last SF Eagle pup. I wanted to make it more diverse for the pet community within our community because those are the people who I see. Those are the people that I want welcomed here. So I changed it to a pet title. I went with the producer, Lex, and he agreed. And I got a big nasty note on my page about that. And I'm not disrespecting the pop culture by any means necessary. But I want to also be open to our pet community as a whole and not just focus on one. And I also wanted to make it more diverse for not just person of color, but also gender, and even accessibility. I want anyone to have an opportunity, and they come in all shapes and forms, pigs, crows, ferrets, and everything else. And I want everyone to be visible and be seen. And I gave that person their opinion on my webpage, and I completely understand where you're coming from. This is where I came from. This is why we decided to do it. They kept going on, and then they started attacking people. And that's where I had to draw the line. And then I had to excommunicate them from my page. It's just, you have to set a sand or, that line and cross and say, I will respect you, I will listen to your opinions, and I want to hear you, but you also have to do the same in return. And you can't, as a title holder, unfortunately. I watched the thing on TikTok, and it was Cardi B, right? She was interviewing, and she talked about how Michelle Obama takes Michelle's stance. She takes the high road, and Cardi B, she said, well, I don't take that stance. I go straight to hell. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with Michelle on this one. As a title holder and as somebody who represents the whole community, we respect people's opinions, but we can't, well, if I don't like your opinion, then I'm going to shut you out. You're not. No. We should be able to commune together, work together, be in the same spaces and not have the same opinions on things. And what I'm finding now is a lot of people are having a hard time doing that, to where they're a title holder. Well, I don't like this person, so they're, in my eyes, they're not a member. I can't work with them. I can't. Baby, that's not how this works. Being a leader means casting a shadow of a leader, and you may not personally like someone, but you need to rather love that for the benefit of the community, show that unity, and be able to do the work that we need to do to push forward. A lot of times we forget that we're in this together, whether we black, white, masculine, feminine, and not support one another when we really need each other the most. We get in that whole selfish mode, me, but sometimes you gotta look outside yourself. Yes, you have to respect your own personal well-being and your self-care. However, you signed up for a job. And you need to know the job that you signed up for and what that entails. If this is not something that you can actually do, if this is not something that, because people think we just go on around with a title and that's it. No. It's not hard. It's not easy. People come to you thinking that you're the end all be all, and you're not. You have to let them know that I'm an ambassador for the leather community, but I don't have all the answers. I'm not the end-all, be-all decision maker of who's who and what's what. That's a community decision. We come together and we make decisions for our community. You don't live that on one person. Unfortunately, I can't speak for the trans community, whether they're in leather or not. I can't speak for the cis white male community because that's what I'm not. What I can do is we can work together on common goals and bring forward our community as a whole and show the leather community is in unison with the rubber community, which is in unison with the pet community, and we are all in this together. But we have to hear each other, we have to listen to each other, and we have to respect one another. And not attack or bully people online or in person, because that's something that I won't stand for, and if I see it, I'm gonna step in. I'm like, this is, you're violating this person's boundaries at this point, and we may need to step back, and you need to take a minute and understand why you're acting the way you're acting. Instead of having a conversation, you're trying to bully somebody. That's not gonna work here. But that's not me.